Hi guys, this is Derek from Pacific Coast Auto here in Japan, and we're taking a look at a 1999 Toyota Altezza Z Edition. Okay, so this one here has 130,842 kilometers, was bought from auction and is going to be exported to Canada. So first off, you take a look at the car and it kind of looks like an IS300. That's because it basically is, but Japan, like so many other cars, got the better version of it here. This one here comes with 6-speed manual transmission. Now you could get the American version with a 5-speed, but they were extremely uncommon. This one comes with a better engine though, and one of Toyota's most famous engines. This is called the Beams 3S GE. And so the 3S engine was in the MR2 and the Celica and the Camry and a whole bunch of other cars. This version of it was only available in the Altezza. There was a Beams version that was available in the MR2 and in the Celica not GT4, the Celica SS2, I think. But this one here is the most powerful of all. This one, the Z Edition. So Z Edition of the Altezza gets an extra 10 horsepower to make it 210 horsepower out of a 2-liter. And comes with the extra cool body kit with fog lights. And yeah, so let's take a look at this one. We'll look at the engine bay, exterior, interior, and compare it to the auction sheet. Okay, so having a close look at the engine, I want to say something about this. This one here is a 2-liter. This car is faster in a straight line and of course handling wise than the 3-liter version of the car that was available in the US, which had the 2JZ engine in it. 2JZ is a cool engine. It has, I think, 225 horsepower in the Altezza. It could be 220. I know that maximum that engine put out 230 horsepower in the Soarer, but I think it was slightly detuned for the Altezza. Anyways, so you have less horsepower in here, but because you have 6 speeds, a shorter gear ratio, and a lighter car, this one turns out to be faster and better at handling. You take a look at the engine, and it is pushed way back toward the firewall because this car was made for a 6-cylinder as well. And so, it's like you cut 2 cylinders off, gives you the better center of gravity, so better handling. The car looks great for 130,000 kilometers. The engine coolant is good. Timing belt was changed before 100,000 kilometers in 2014. Oil looks good. Take a look at the intake. You get these nice long straight runners there. Unfortunately, and I'm very sad that Toyota decided to do this, they have a single throttle body on this, where a quad throttle body would have made this car lots of thumbs up. And they did have an engine of this era, the 4AGE, that came with quad throttle bodies from stock. Take a look at this, the exhaust header style, even though that's the stock one. And then you see you got a little bit of an oil leak there in the valve cover gasket. We do have all the belts, yay! And let's lower the hood. We don't have the cooliness of aluminum hood on this car. It's a heavy guy, so you want your car to go faster, change that hood. Okay, we'll go over the auction sheet in just a sec, but first let's take a look at the car. It's getting a little bit dark, isn't it? Almost 6 o'clock here. Okay, so this car is the next version of the AE86, sort of. The guy who designed this car also designed the 86, and he wanted this to be kind of the continuation of it. I guess you get the 4 doors because 86 owners would like to have a family, and then they can buy this, I guess. So in 1999, this is the auction inspection sheet, all the information used to purchase the car. And this wasn't written by us. 1999, Altezza RS200 Z Edition, 2000cc, auction grade 4 with an interior grade B, 138.42 kilometers with 6-speed manual transmission, automatic air conditioning, alloy wheels, power steering, power windows, airbag. Original silver color, purchased from user, aftermarket Navi with digital TV in it, aftermarket wheels, Kakimoto exhaust or muffler on it. And I find that to be too noisy in this car with this engine. Okay, right side electric folding door mirror doesn't work. There's a button that folds in these mirrors. This one works. That one doesn't. Okay, and the inspector's notes. So inside is slightly dirty. I would call that a little bit more than slightly dirty, but definitely cleanable. There's no stains that I can see. Wheels scratched and have corrosion on them. So that's a little bit weird. These wheels don't have corrosion on them that I can find, and they are made by Weds, but they're not in good condition. There's some massive scrapes on the other side. I'll show you those in a sec. But the car came with a set of the original wheels for the Altezza, and these ones have some pretty bad corrosion on them. And this is what aluminum corrosion looks like. See all those squiggly lines on them? Now something weird here, we have ATR Sport tires on here. These ones are a 215/45 17. They seem to have pretty good tread on them, like 80%. The tires that are on the car are an 18, and they have Potenza S003s, and they have about 80% too. So it's pretty weird that a car comes with two sets of tires, and then both of them are a sport tire. Usually it would be like one of them's winter and one of them's summer, or one of them's a sport tire and one of them's all seasons or something like that. But no, this guy was into the sport so much that he decided to buy two sets of sport tires. Okay, seats have covers on them. They're actually leather covers. I guess they're nice. We wanted to pull them up to check the condition, but they're put on there in a way that you can't just pull them off. And key cover is cracked. That's actually the plastic that goes into the key. So it's not on the car, it's on the key, and it's cracked and broken. It's kind of annoying. Looking at the body, we have some medium scratches on the front bumper. We have paint peeling on the hood, and then some minor dents on both sides, and then minor scratch on the back. So the sides are pretty good. I did shoot another video getting the sides. A few dents here and there, like for example, this one here is probably the biggest one. See that? Okay, so I'd say that the body's pretty good. This back fender is a little bit cloudy. I don't know if that's something that can be polished out or if it's paint fade. But the rest of the car looks good. And looking at this, it's kind of weird that that doesn't line up properly. Okay. And so let's do once around. I'll go into the details after that. And so the car's rather small. In fact, it's only a little bit bigger than the 8.6 is. Going off of memory, I don't have an 8.6 next to it. Here we have the standard Z edition rear spoiler, and then the covers on there were optional. They're official, and I quite like them. You know, people always call the chromey silver lights Altezza lights because these cars come with them from the factory. They weren't the first car to have an Altezza style light, but I guess they were the one that the name stuck with. Looks like we're on stock suspension. So stock suspension, stock engine bay, stock exterior, everything is in standard condition. And I don't know why these cars aren't more popular than they are. They're great handling cars, they're economical, they're rear wheel drive, and they didn't get the big price boost that a lot of cars basically in this category got. And so I think they're very good value for money, and people should be buying them up. The peeling paint on the hood is clear coat peel. This section right here, have a close look because it's kind of hard to see. And a little bit on the other side in the same spot right here. Okay, headlights are yellow. And love the look of the multicolor fog lights. That's the way that they come from standard. And it says Altezza on here and here. Cool. All right, let's take a look at the inside now. So the door cards are pretty normal, not really much to say about them, lots of plastic. These cars tend to hold up pretty well in high mileage from what I've seen. Steering wheel actually has carbon fiber, which is cool. I think that's a Z edition only. It does have some leather wear. It's carbon and the leather is dried out. Seat covers say Altezza on them, so they're specifically made for these seats. Fabric looks a little bit loose, but if you don't want to have them, then you can have seats underneath. Just standard cotton, I guess. Polyester. I don't know what they're made out of. Okay, power steering works really well. I think this looks kind of cool. Looks like a watch. And so you get your speedometer in the place where the tachometer really should be going on a sports car, right in the center, because that's your important thing. When you're racing, it doesn't matter how fast you're going, it matters how many RPMs your engine has, and it's kind of off to the side here. Now it does rev to 8,000 RPM, or just before 8,000, so that's really cool. And the engine doesn't get a lot of power until high in the RPM band, so you do have to rev it, but you can tell your friends that you're faster than a 2J. Just don't tell them about it's the non-turbo one you're faster than. Okay, so chrome shift knob, 6 speeds with reverse and the up left. You actually have to give it a good push to get it into there. Okay, e-brake works. It has this, which is like, I don't even know how, there we go. So it's like a little remote that comes stock with it, but kind of weird. And then here's the original navigation screen there, but it's broke. Well, it's not broken. Nothing is on in it, and then it has some wrinklies. And so the navigation has been switched to this one here, which probably has more useful navigation. This car being in 1999 will not have a navigation. Like the original navigation is probably pretty lame. Climate control AC. AC works really well. Okay, pedal covers. I think those are the stock ones on it. Mats say Altezza. You can see how dirty it is in the car. Has this nice little box here, same as like the JZX 90s and 100s had these. I think they're kind of weird and kind of cheap, but it is a cool JDM thing in some respects. Okay. Now the car came with the tires, and it also came with the stock exhaust. If you want stuff like that, they have to be sent to you, but tires have to be unmounted from the wheels because they can't be sent inside the car, and they can't be shipped by post unless you take the tires off. So it is a little bit annoying. Okay, so the seat covers cover leather all the way to the back, and these ones here have had tires sitting on them, so they're a little bit dirty. Small cars, BMW 3 Series size, maybe even a little bit smaller than a 3 Series. Okay, opening the back. Now the back window is pretty fast, meaning that the angle is pretty shallow on it, especially for a 4-door coupe. So you get a small trunk because of that. Not a small trunk, a small section from the back of the window to the end of the trunk. But the trunk itself is a fairly decent size for a car of this size. And then the opening is fairly, well, not super large, but could be worse. Alright, gonna close that up. I like the character lines on this car. The one line that goes here across and then goes back up to reach the spoiler, I think is a really nice look. And it's another car that the neighbors are going to hate. Sorry guys. Now I do test the car's clutch and the throttle response as part of the report. Every time I do that, I'm worried. Dun dun dun. Okay, so that's the end of this one. Altezza. It's been a while since we've had one on the channel, so nice to see some not skylines on here for once in a while. And I hope you enjoyed this one. So thank you everyone for watching. If you have any comments, post them in the comments section. Check out our website, and that's going to be about it. Thanks a lot. Have a nice day.